Hey, it's Mark Ferguson with Invest for More, and I'm outside the laundromat that we're working on getting opened. So we're going to talk about our time frame. If we're still shooting for the 19th to open, we'll show you the work that's being done, talk about some of our new plans, and some of the challenges of getting this open as well. So I already have one laundromat, a very small one that has a car wash as well. That's been a huge learning experience for me. And then I took over this one that was had gone out of business. The tenant had been evicted or almost evicted, and I was looking to buy some machines from this one when I decided, hey, why not just try to take it over? I ended up doing that. I'm leasing the business, the site, from the building owner, and it kind of came with all the machines too. So a lot of the machines need some work. We're fixing those up now. We've got some other machines coming in soon. A lot going on. We're right next to the DMV, so people park here all the time, even though it says laundromat parking only. But since we're closed, it's not really a big deal to me yet. When we open, it might be a big deal. All right, so here is this beauty, which should look a lot different than the last time people saw these videos, because we've got stuff going on. So, I just did some videos on my commercial property where we had a tenant who was staying or using another property he wasn't supposed to be in, and we signed a lease with them eventually. Hopefully that works out. And some people mentioned I should sue the previous owners and should kick out these tenants, and I could do that. I could sue the previous owners for not disclosing some stuff. I may or may not win. It's just not worth my time. I could go after the current tenants and try and kick them out and try to evict them. It's just not worth my time. They pay on time, they occupy the property, and I've got a lot more other stuff going on that is worth my time than going after that stuff. So, as you can see, we have a lot going on here. So we have 18 dryers here. Most of them work, but there were a few that needed some work, and they're being fixed up right now. As you can see, I've got a couple of guys who work on laundromats who are doing this work. Really nice, super, super nice. I would not describe them as fast. I would not use that description, but super nice. So hopefully we can start making a little more progress here as far as getting some stuff fixed. And then I have another guy who's kind of like the laundromat machine installer person, and he's been out of town, and he's supposed to touch base with me this week. Hopefully we can get some of our other machines in here, because, as many of you know who follow me too, I bought a whole bunch of machines from another laundromat that went out of business, and so we're going to add a bunch of those to here. So that's kind of the plan I'm going to talk about in a little bit. And people might say, man, why are you getting into a business where everything keeps going under? We've got two different laundromats that guys got evicted or almost evicted from, and it doesn't seem like a very good business. And actually there's some video or link that just ranked laundromats as the #1 least risky business to be in. But on both of these, you could see why they weren't doing well. The machines weren't maintained. They're just letting them, when they broke, they weren't fixing them. Their prices were out of whack with what they should be charging, mostly way, way too cheap. They let the building kind of, go downhill a little bit, or the space. And so it's just kind of obvious to a lot of people why those businesses didn't work. And you can have the best business in the world, the most profitable industry, and if you don't have a good operator, they're not going to be successful. Or if they're not paying attention to things, if they're not keeping up with things, they won't be successful. So this machine here is one of our 27-pounder Speed Queens. It needs a new bearing, which is in there. The guy's waiting for a new sleeve. So a couple of these were broken. Trying to get them fixed. We don't have to fix everything before we open, but we wanted to get at least some of this stuff fixed. So some of the machines worked, some didn't. But I have also got, so let me try and organize my thoughts here. That machine that's being worked on goes right here. So they have 6 of the 27-pound Speed Queens, which are larger than normal capacity, kind of like a double load, I guess. So these can be good money makers. Over here used to be a 50-pound Speed Queen. The previous owner guy took that. So or it was gone for who knows how long. we have one of those left right here. And so watching all the laundromat videos I can, here I can switch to that view too, that might help. Everyone talks about how your big machines make you the most money. So this laundromat only had two 50-pounders and then 6 of the 27-pounders. They did not have very many big machines at all. The rest were front loaders, as you can see right here, which are not high capacity, very cheap. I think they're only charging $175 for those. That's better than the other laundromat. The other laundromat was only charging $125 for these, which is crazy cheap. But these aren't great money makers, although some people still like them. You can see another row of top loaders. Again, a lot of them didn't work, have signs on them. And then we've got this one row of these are probably 20-pound front loaders, which are decent machines. But again, they just had 5 of those. So they really only had 13 good machines. So that's one of the problems here. So with the other laundromat, I was able to get 12 20-pound Horizon Speed Queens, which are very similar to these, and 2 one 60-pounder, 2 50-pounders, and a 35-pounder Speed Queen. So we can add a whole nother row. Actually, we could put almost all of those. We could put 10 of those Horizon front loaders in this row and in that row right there, and already make it so much better. And then we could take the top loaders we have that work well, that are in good shape, and if we want to, we can make another row right here in front for people, because in my other laundromat, we have some front loaders now. It just had top loaders before. People still use the top loaders. They do like the top loaders. People get used to them. They know how to use them. So I think we will still keep at least one row of those, but we can add way more machines up here, and then we can add our 50-pounder. We've got a base for it and everything. We've got bases for all the other machines. We can put, and then I forgot, I bought another separate deal, another 40-pounder and another 30-pounder, right? So we can have a 60-pounder. We need to figure out the best configuration for that. 2 50-pounders, 1 40-pounder, a 35, and then we can have some of these 27-pound or 30-pounders as well. So we can add 3, 4, 5 more machines here than what was here before. We can extend it out where this counter was and have way better machines here too. So I think we can make this laundromat way, 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 way better. But like I said, we've got to get that guy here who can install them, because that's not an easy thing to do. It's not just a easy setup. And then we may or may not, we will have to get our electrician here to connect some of those machines too, because these take massive amounts of power. We do have a drain trough right here, which is fantastic. And hopefully we can just extend some of the other drains if we go out that way more to drain into here. And then we can add just those other Horizons can just go in place of where these were. We have bases for them too. That all came from the other laundromat. And we should be getting closer to opening. However, at first, when I first got this lease, I wanted to open October 1st. That obviously blew by. We're not even close. Then I said, okay, how about the 18th? Well, maybe, maybe not, depending on how quickly we can get things done. We're hoping to get some of those other machines installed here next week, hopefully. But then we're already running into getting close to that 18th. I need to get my guy in here to paint, do some other stuff. That can be done fairly quickly. We've got to fix some of the floor still. So there's quite a bit to do. Other issue we ran into, I don't have keys for any of the new machines I bought. None of them have keys. So, I've got to order new key boxes for those. And then these dryers, we didn't have keys for any of them. And so I tried We drilled out a box, tried sending the key code into ESD. They said, oh, we don't have that key code. We don't make that key. And like it says so right in the box. So I think just ordering all brand new boxes for these here too. Again, don't know when those will come. So we can't really, oh, there's quarters in there. We can't really open until we can collect money, because these aren't huge coin boxes. And if we have quite a few people using the dryers, they could fill up in a few days, and then they'll jam up the machines if you can't open them. And so that's obviously a pretty important part of opening. So still have quite a bit of work to do, quite a few things to schedule, and experts to talk to on far as making this a much better, easier to use, better machine, laundromat. We'll see. Now, other issues we found, of course there's always issues, on these dryers. Like I said, most of them are working fine, but the laundromat guys were just saying when they repaired stuff, fixed stuff, most of the panels that are used to cover up the wiring, the safety material, they just left them off or put them in boxes and never put them back on. So just so lazy. Like all you have to do is screw this panel back on. And some of these are off because they've been working on them and checking them, but a lot of these just didn't have, there's supposed to be a cover plate there. There's a cover plate there that's missing on quite a few of them. Like that one's missing it. So just stuff like that all over. So we're trying to figure out if we have all those, get all the safety stuff back on, get all that done, and then if we need more stuff, we can order a few more of those parts. Those should be okay. We've cleaned up most of the lint, but we still need to do a little bit more. This was just covered in lint everywhere. Obviously, some of these vents aren't connected. We have the venting. Need to get all those reconnected as well and hooked up and done correctly. Wonder why there's lint everywhere. I don't know if they're operating with the vents just not connected. Probably. But yeah, not an amazing way to do things. And other issue things. Still got to get my guy over here to cut off these locks. Make sure the soap machine works. All that's in good shape. And the change machines has super nice change machine. Some of the parts have been redone recently in 2020. However, I've only got 1 quarter trough. I probably need 2 if we have a busy laundromat, because we'll need lots of change. And I just need to get this checked out, make sure it's all working. Everything's hooked up right. There's another guy that specializes in that. So a lot of different stuff going on. A lot of different specialties from different people. So there isn't really one person that does everything. And they're pretty specialized machines, so I can see why that happens. But we're making progress. It's very slow progress. And I'm pretty excited still. Really love to see what this one does once we get new machines in here. Some of the others fixed. Like I said, it's not a priority to make sure every single thing is working perfectly, but we would like to get some bigger machines in here, some of those in here, get those working up, running, installed, move some of these around, and make it looking a little nicer, and we can get going. So people still stop by all the time to try and use it. That's a good sign. And I think this will be a good business venture. But as always, taking a little longer than you hope. And you just have to be patient in these endeavors, which is probably the hardest thing for me to do. So I want to get going and get stuff done right away. But until I get my laundry installation and repair certificate to go through, I don't know if I should be doing all the work on these. But so that's the update. We'll have more on this, of course, coming up here soon. Hopefully next week, maybe we'll be having some new machines coming in and being installed. That would be amazing. And then we'll see if we can hit that 18th or not. That's probably being very, very, very hopeful at this point. But we are making some progress. All right. We'll be back soon with this update, other laundromat updates, other commercial property updates, liquor store updates, fix and flip updates, all that stuff coming up soon, and love to hear what you think of this business so far.